everybody. My name is Kanaya Sterling, and I will be talking about my favorite at-home lab experiment this semester. The lab in particular that I chose was the extraction lab. The extraction lab involved the extraction of the chlorophyll pigment from spinach leaves. I chose this lab for numerous different reasons. One being the fact that the steps were simplistic and easy to follow, which meant that I was getting consistent and understandable results that really make sense to me, as well as I had most, if not all, of these supplies already, which meant I didn't have to go out the way to get the supplies, which is a big deal in this time when there's a lot of shortages. I know some people did have to deal with a shortage of isopropyl alcohol in their area, but I just so happened to have some at home, which meant that that was something that I didn't necessarily have to worry about. Alright, so how do you perform the experiment? So the purpose of the extraction lab is to separate a particular component of a mixture based off the solubility of the different components within that mixture. So one of the principles surrounding this particular lab is the fact that isopropyl alcohol is less polar than water, but more polar than vegetable oil. And for this lab, we used a regular Ziploc bag as our sort of separatory funnel in order to separate the different components within the mixture. And the way this was used was we would add the whether it be water, vegetable oil, or the isopropyl alcohol to our separatory funnel. And when we needed to drain something off, we would I would cut a hole right here, or I would cut off a tiny little bit at the bottom, allow it to drain, and then I would pinch it and move to the other side. So the way this lab worked, isopropyl alcohol was used to dissolve the spinach leaves and separate the chlorophyll pigment from the spinach leaves. The pigment itself is too non-polar for it to be completely soluble in the isopropyl alcohol, which meant that we needed something that was more non-polar in order to adhere to the chlorophyll pigment, which is why we used the vegetable oil. The vegetable oil is a more suitable solubility partner because it is non-polar. And the purpose of the water was to dissolve the isopropyl alcohol so it can be removed from the chlorophyll pigment that was adhering to the vegetable oil. So essentially, just to give a summary, we have the isopropyl alcohol dissolving the spinach leaves, extracting that chlorophyll pigment. We add the vegetable oil in order to have that vegetable oil adhere to the chlorophyll pigment that was in the isopropyl alcohol. We add the water in order to drain out that isopropyl alcohol. That way, in the end, what we have left over in our result is the vegetable oil and the chlorophyll pigment solution. And on this side, we see the results that I got for the 3 different trials that I ran of this experiment.